So let's talk about balance. How does your head balance now that you have way less hair?
It's a lot better on my neck. That's for sure, man.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a genuine. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, no, I have a couple different herniated discs in my neck and my back, and so now, I mean, obviously, that my hair had to weigh at least 10, 15 pounds. It was heavy,
wow.
Especially if it was wet,
right?
And it took its toll on you. So it's definitely a lot.
And didn't you have dreads for a while?
11 years, man.
When you have dreads, are you putting stuff in it?
No.
No, that's just the way your hair is.
Yeah, but
right?
it's all hair. Once that
starts knotting together, is that what happens?
It becomes solid. Yeah.
Really, it just becomes.
Yeah, not like
yeah.
Not.
But there's no way you could have ever brushed it out.
Oh no way.
It was
there's
snarled like crazy.
Yeah, there's no way.
So did you ever feel like it was clean? You know
what
I mean?
It always was clean. Oh yeah, I'm a clean dread.
What?
Yeah, no. People that
because it kind of looks dirty from a distance.
Yeah. But all it is natted hair, and depending on the kind of hair you have, some lock up easier than others. But a lot of people. But for me, that was kind of the whole thing. But when doing it, it was a sign of like humility. You know what I mean? Where it was like, oh yeah, you really are an outcast of society. Now it's become so trendy where people can go down to the local barber or whatever now and get dreads. And so I didn't like that whole concept. But yeah, I always kept my stuff. I'm a clean dude. Period. Yeah. But some people, they don't care, and it's just a means of like, being earthy and stuff like that. But I'm not. I wasn't really about that.
Every once in a while, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And then
I never thought I would. It just been a real, a few months of just a lot of things that I've been going through personally, and then my family been going through, and, I had heard this saying about, like when guys go into, the Marines and into military, and the reason why they shave your head is because what they do is they strip your identity. They just you go in and you're this new person. They strip everything that everything that you've been taught, everything that you think you're about, and then they turn you into a soldier and they instill,
So it's sort of a ceremony through.
For me, it was like I never wanted to. It was just I think it was more of just an internal kind of cleansing for myself and it was it's like a sacrifice. It's like, I'm just going to cut these bad boys off, and I hope to have them again someday. But right now it was like, it was me just making another commitment, another dedication, to the things that I believe in, to my family. And so, I started taking to have my wife. We were just sitting outside, and one day, it was April 1st, actually, oddly enough, and I started taking pictures and had my wife take a bunch of pictures, and then she was like, "Oh, what?" She could tell something was up. What are all these pictures for? And I'll just keep taking them. And then I went inside and then I got the scissors.
You did it.
And then then I brought them out and I gave them to her, and she just started crying like.
Wow.
And I was like, just I want you guys to take them off. So she cut them off. She cut the first one, and then my eldest daughter cut the second one, and then they cut them. And it was tough. It was a very emotional thing. I prayed with them. I rededicated everything that I am as a husband, as a father, as a believer in God. And it was just, letting those. It'd been 11 years of just so many awesome things, and it was like holding on to all the good stuff, and also kind of flushing and all the negative stuff. And
that's
so it was crazy, man. My daughter, she was crying because they were older than she was, so she was crying, and she was like, telling me, but I like them, Daddy, and she thought that maybe somebody didn't like them, and that's why, but it was wild, man. It was wild. It was a cleansing for sure.
Yeah, I wish there were more things in our life that we could just sort of cut off and cleanse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the dreads. I wish I could. but I used to have my hair, down to like a 1, and it's sort of I just didn't want to take care of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I wish. I mean, we can always do it, but really doing it is, like you said, they had to be really super emotional and spiritual, and you made it a family experience, which I mean, they're going to remember that, man.
Yeah,
they're going to remember that. I mean, not that you guys are going to remember, but certainly your kids, if they can remember it, they will remember it forever. You know,
they will. It was, again, every day you say, I'm going to stop doing this, or I'm gonna change my life for this way, and then he's always talking. For me, it was one of those things like. It was a sacrifice. I didn't want to. I spent over 11 years growing my dreads. I'm a dread. I love it. I love everything about it.
To perform differently. I mean, everything.
Yeah, I love it. Was what most people knew of me in P.O.D. especially, and it was just something that I said. I just got to take it off.
Hey, last time we talked, I never asked you about Alive. I mean, I know it's the song that put you on the map. I hope it still puts a little bit of coins in your pocket once in a while because it gets played so much. You were just so thankful for life when you wrote that. I mean,
yeah, it was. I could tell you the short story of it. We were recording in L.A. and we would always, go home for the weekends and then drive back up, Monday through Friday. And it was Sunday night, and actually I was supposed to sing the song Monday, and so I asked my wife. I said, "Hey, can you drive?" And I got to finish writing this song, And my little daughter, she was in the back. I think she was only she was 1 at the time, or 1.5, and we're driving. It's just traffic lights all the way up to L.A. and I'm writing this song, and I knew I had the chorus, pretty much. But it was funny because I looked back and my daughter was sleeping, and you know how when you have kids, everybody says, "Oh, she looks just like you," or your kids look just like you, and I don't see it. I never seen it. I didn't, everybody always said it, and then it was like a year and a half later, I'm looking back, and the lights from the headlights for the oncoming traffic would go past her, and I'm looking at her, and I just freaked out. And I didn't freak out, but it was like,
yeah, I know.
In a good way, it was like, I saw me, and then I told my wife, I said, I finally see me and my daughter now. I see her in her face, and that was a good feeling, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. So anyways, I finished writing the lyrics. It was about a 2-hour drive, and I wrote the lyrics that Sunday night on the way over. Woke up in the morning, we got to the studio, and I said, it's funny because I'm always the last guy done, and Howard was like, "Did you finish those lyrics?" I'm like, "I got it." And we finished it.
I mean, is there a part of you that, because you sang it the next day, right?
Yeah.
You recorded it the next day?
Yeah.
I just wonder if there was something still very fresh about it. You know what I mean? There was something still very genuine about it because you just realized you had that.
Yeah.
You had that thing happen with your daughter in the back seat, and I don't know. I still believe that there's an intangible in all music that even you can't control.
Right. Of course.
Like a performance at a show,
Yeah.
But
maybe
that's why.
I also, I mean, that's one of those just cool little inspirations, last minute thing. But again, a lot of it in a spiritual sense, has to do with when it's like that time when you just said, man, I get it. Yeah. I think I get it.
Yeah.
When it comes to my spiritual walk and my faith in God, it was like, man, I get it. Because I wasn't raised in the church and born, any certain way. It was. I've always had a reverence and a respect for the things of God, but there was a time in my life when I was just faced with a decision, and I was like, man, I think I get it. And that's how I said I feel alive for the very first time. It's like, this is what it feels like to kind of. When nothing else matters, and then truth reveals itself, and you're like, okay, and then you just hope, like, man, I hope that everybody else gets it too, man.
Yeah.
And you want them to. You sure want them to,
Set it off. About, I guess once you have that realization, you just want to light the fuse, and is that where you're going with that?
Yeah, man. Hold your head up high, Man, this is so many years ago,
dude.
It's
that's back when you had dreads. Man.
Yeah, man.
You probably had some of the brain cells in the dreads. That's a problem. I got a couple of songs.
Right.
I cut a couple of songs out when you did that. No.
Yeah, no. Set Off was one of my favorite songs. It goes off, man. It's just, again, it's kind of one of them songs, even with authority. It says that we're here, we're not going nowhere. We're not backing down from the things that we believe. We're here to fight as hard as long and as hard as we can, and with whatever's in us. And sometimes, we're fully charged, and sometimes we're not, but we're still fighting on.
Are there times when you're writing that or Boom or that you go, man, this would be great on ESPN? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just when you're putting it together, like,
especially with Boom, once I hit, and all of a sudden we're getting calls from like all these sports people, like, wow, this is a market here, they really, and we're like, but our music is in that niche, we're just grooving, and then, but we thought the same thing too, like, then when Lights Out came out, we're like, what, I bet you that's gonna be another one of them songs, and then Lights Out kind of, with the whole Pontiac thing and the video game, and yeah, so, and and then we got on the, was it the college basketball, and it was on some other commercials, and it was like, oh, this is cool.
Let me go to Every Time I Die off the bonus part of Testify. I love the idea of listening in, because that's what the name of the program is that we do.
Yeah.
But is that about being a friend, really listening into what somebody's going through? Is that what you were?
Every time I die, man, I got to think back. That was for me. That was more of for me in my walk, my spiritual walk. It's every time you die to yourself. The things that you want, the things that you want to do, all the selfish things that don't do any good for anybody else except yourself. But I also believe to get to know the heart of God and to understand the heart of God, you gotta be willing to die to yourself and put aside the things that aren't of God. I'm not saying that any of us does that better than anyone else, or we can do that, but the I know that when the times of my life when I die to Sonny, so that the things of God might shine in my life. Those are the moments that you do understand a little bit about your faith, and those are the moments that things do make sense.
So is that thing on your left wrist of God?
Right.
That thing is huge. It tells you what?
This thing is.
How's your kids doing? Can you see them right on there?
It's of free, is what this is.
That's of free.
That's of free. I got this for free.
I would never watch. What else does it tell you? Is it just time? Is there humidity on there?
There's temperature. There's humidity. There's
is it a mood watch,
date.
so you kind of know how you're feeling?
Yeah.
It's your own personal temperature?
I don't know if it's a mood watch because I don't think it's working. If it is,
because you're really pissed right now. No.
Yeah, it was free, man. That's the perks of being a rock band that people dig. You get to take a picture and get something free, and I'm from the hood, so I'd take anything free.
Yeah, I wonder if you ever have taken something or thought about taking something, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I bet that person wants more than I want.
Oh yeah. There's and then there's a lot of companies, a lot of stuff that, again, it's like cool stuff, but you're like, I just can't endorse a lot of, what I mean? Like, I'm just not gonna put my name behind that. It's tough, but there's people, and then people have 8-10 companies, and then all of a sudden you find out one company they're working with this and doing that, and it's like, what, I like your stuff, but it's like, no, I don't mean to be a jerk or anything, but hey, this is the stuff that I like. And so obviously when this guy's like, dude, take this watch, take some pictures of you. I'm like, if you have something for all the band, then we're in. And he's like, of course. It's cool because even so far the guy's come out and he's given a bunch of like our people at the label reps, and it's funny. So we'll go to the label, and the guy that was with us at the last at the Jay Leno.
Yeah.
So we went back to the label and we said, see what happens when you hang out with P.O.D. You get gifts, man. And he showed up. He had a big old watch.
Jay Leno did?
No. Oh, Jay Leno got one too from our buddy, but one of the guys at the label that was working with us.
Oh, right.
And then they're like, what? How'd you get that? Like, dude, the guys from P.O.D. hooked it up.
So what is it like when is Jay Leno and shows like that? Is it just showbiz? That is Hollywood to the extreme. I mean, you're in there just for commerce reasons, in essence.
Yeah, it's all showbiz. But Jay Leno's he's actually cool. He actually takes the time to stop by the dressing room and say hi to, to mom and pops and grandma and grandpa and all the kids. And Carson Daly is awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody else has come. They've been in it so long. It's just
right. Yeah, it's their job.
It's their job. Get on, get off.
How about movies? Any movies lately that have? You know what I saw every time? I don't even know why I think about you guys. Only because it seemed like it was set around San Diego, but I don't think it was American History X. I don't know why when I see that movie.
It was Venice Beach.
Was it?
Yeah, very similar.
Oh man, that's
movie is
wild
so
movie, man. Powerful and
dark,
dude. And awesome to shine the light on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I went to see that, it was years ago with my wife. I walked out of that theater almost just looking around me, just like frightened. Like,
oh man,
this is some crazy stuff.
Felt almost like a documentary.
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah.
I mean,
it's real. That's real business right there.
Yeah, I can't believe people think like that.
Yeah, dude, it's true.
But do you think about that being? Well, what are you? You are Hispanic? Is that how?
I'm mixed up. I'm Italian, Mexican, Hawaiian, Guamanian.
Yeah, I'm a mutt. I'm sort of a mutt guy. Yeah.
But I mean, I have it. San Diego's such a melting pot. I mean, you have everything from all your different kinds of gangs to all your different, cultural backgrounds, your racist backgrounds. And there's a lot of stuff that's underground too, that's not as out in the open. There's a lot of gangs. There's a lot of underground stuff. So that's crazy. But you were saying movies.
Yeah.
I think the last movie I seen was the Happening. I think that was the M. Night Shyamalan. I love him. He's probably one of my favorite directors.
What was the movie? He's done like 2 other movies, right?
No, he's done like 5. His last one was Lady in the Water. He did Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, The Village.
Yeah, The Village.
The
Village is great.
He's sick. Yeah, he's amazing. And The Happening was I loved it. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's not as good as the other stuff. They're expecting that ending twist, and it was like, it wasn't really that kind of movie though. It was just, I think that was, talking about earlier, that was his environmental movie, and it was awesome, man.
Well, don't you think? We're kind of talking about lyrics and stuff, but don't you think? And you, I think, have a purpose to what you do. Don't you feel like he really has a purpose?
Oh yeah.
I mean, beyond just.
I know for a fact
the story that's being told on screen.
Yeah. I know for a fact with him and his own personal convictions and his own faith that his movies reflect their stories.
Really?
There's so many cross-reference type things. There's so many scripture-based stuff in all his movies, and his movies are, even though some of it's wild and those little twists, it always deals with life or death and a lot of religion in there.
Yeah.
A lot of politics, and it's good stuff.
I saw whatever the last movie was with Angelina Jolie, where it's
Wanted,
and it just, and I love what she's standing for in her public life, but I just thought that movie was just such a crank it out, see how much action, blah blah blah,
paycheck,
and I just sort of went, yeah.
There's so many movies like that now, just like there's so much music like that.
Yeah,
they crank it out, and it's just like, that wasn't you.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a job, and I'm sure she gets paid well and all that kind of stuff. But I guess, I sense that you always have purpose behind what you do, and I don't know if that's a part. Is that you feel like that's not Angelina Jolie, but when there's, it is just commerce, right? It's just let's crank something out that people will pay to see because they think about what a 15-year-old boy wants to see.
Right. Yeah.
And usually it's a pair of breasts.
Yeah, some guns, some cars, some action. I love being in P.O.D. and I love making music that touches people and. I've said this since the beginning. It's like if P.O.D.'s done tomorrow, like I won't fight it. You know what I mean? I love what we've been able to do and what we've accomplished. But again, it's like us hanging out here. You just going over to the signing, you meet someone that, like, man, I just drove hours to see you guys, and your music changed my life. It's like when I stop hearing that, then I don't need to do this anymore. You know what I mean? Because that's was the sole purpose of being kids in a band, was saying, hey, we're going to write music and write lyrics so that our friends are going to listen to. And then, and we started playing the bars. Like, okay, now these bars, they're listening to it. And, man, and we're going to make a CD or a tape at the time. And people buy tapes, and other people are going to listen. Strangers are going to listen,
Right.
And then and we've always gotten that positive feedback, and that's what it's been about. That's the fuel that keeps us going. There's all kinds of moments, especially now. Your kids get older, life on the road gets tough, and and you get out here and you get encouraged by people that have gotten something out of your music, and it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, everybody says there's no such thing as perpetual motion, which I understand scientifically, but your music inspires them.
Yeah.
And it gives them a reason to keep going. And when
Yeah.
they say that back to you, it inspires you to write. You know
Right.
what I mean? And to me, that
It's
is
true.
just. And I guess if there is perpetual motion, it's just the way we work together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things wrong in the world, but man, there's a lot of things right with
That's
the world.
right.
You
That's
know?
right, bro.
And that's a
And hand in hand.
hard thing to say. It's a hard thing to think I'm blessed. It's a hard thing to
Yeah.
think that things are going well because, like you were talking earlier.
Yeah.
But man, thanks for doing it. Thanks for
Yeah.
doing it a lot. So
For sure.